telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She telling me to come forward, come for me. See, I don't know why finally now I just spoke my mind. I know it's long since we spoke sometime, but this thing no play, I go change your mind. Just give me some time, any place, cause I don't have no time to waste. No more back and forth just like Aaliyah. That's all I wanna do right now. Grab it up, so you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend up on that reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. Well, when me gonna grab it up, so you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend up on that reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. Well, she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She telling me to come forward, come for me. Telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She telling me to come forward, come for me. I don't know why finally now I just spoke my mind. I know it's long since we spoke sometime, but this thing no play, I go change your mind. Just give me some time, any place, cause I don't have no time to waste. No more back and forth just like Aaliyah. That's all I wanna do right now. Grab it up, so you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend up on that reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. Well, when me gonna grab it up, so you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend up on that reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. But she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what she telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system since Luvac left. You don't want to change from the 4-3.
Boom, boom, boom. What's going on, people? We're back again on the Jerry James Show for another tactics board. This one's going to be very, very interesting. Liverpool, I mean, probably one of the games of the season already at such an early period, managed to scrape through and get a 2-1, victory at St. James's Park when it looked like all was lost and gone. Virgil, red card, Trent lucky to stay on the pitch. Controversial decisions, poor refereeing. Yeah, it was all over the place, man. The game was a madness, but we managed to obviously turn out victors. Before I get into obviously the people in the chat and obviously G, please make sure we are liking the video and we are subscribing. We're en route to 200 million subscribers. Only a few subscribers off that 2K, people. And as we went and mentioned, once we get the 2K, it's a straight watch along, man. Watch along settings, 100%, man. We're gonna have to obviously drop that to you guys. And look, if you guys had 2K, if we had 2K subs, guys, then you would have seen my reaction to the game on the weekend, because it was crazy. It was a roller coaster. It was up, it was down. You had spoken to me at 35 minutes in. What I had cooking for this German manager, what I had cooking for the players was something different. But listen, I had to get obviously dashed in the bin, and I had to cook something else. And obviously the cooking was, wasn't as harsh on the taste buds, just to put it that way, man. But guys, please make sure obviously we're liking, subscribing. But G, what are you telling me, man?
Brother, man's good, man. Man's good, man. You know what I'm saying? Bank holiday Monday, relaxed today, kind of chilled. I was gonna go to the carnival, but you know what? I said, nah, man. Let's work instead, man. Some people who are out there, catching a wine and all that kind of stuff, who ain't working, let them do their thing. You know what I'm saying? You guys do your thing. Yeah, just make sure everyone's being safe. But more blessed, man. How are you, though? How are you, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't care less about carnival. I've never been. I don't think I'm ever gonna go, bro.
I'll keep it a buck with you, man. I know this is a bit off topic, but yeah. Yo, that just threw me off guard so much. Hey, big up. What was I gonna say? Listen, I'll keep it a buck. Having been so many times over the years, if you haven't been now, it's one of those ones, man. It obviously depends what type of person you are, but also I don't know, like at times I'm like, the older you get as well, it's like, let's put it this way, the next time I probably go will be with my son. Like that will be the next time I go when he's old enough, like for me to take him there. You get what I'm trying to say? Like I think it'll be one of those in terms of me actually going there, and there's not really much there. I'll keep it about. It's just a day out. Listen, it's just a brilliant day out. It is fun. I'm not gonna lie and say it isn't, but at the same time, you're not missing too much, bro. I'll keep it about country with you, man. So,
yeah, I thought so, man.
That comment was goated.
Yeah, it was goated, and it was goated. But shout out to Colin in the building. Say smash it like everyone. Shout out to Colin. We got obviously Anfield Road End in the building as well. Man like AD in the building saying like up the stream. We got Trudon in the building as well with that Darwin R9 trim. Listen, let's not get over excited. It wasn't no R9 performance.
No, that's your guy. No. That's your guy, bro. You bought the stocks. That's your guy. You should be bigging it up. Let me hear. I want to hear. I better be hearing excellent analysis from you today, boy. Nunez. Excellent.
I don't know. The analysis is always going to be top notch, though. The analysis.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
Yeah, it's always going to be top notch. But I'm just saying here. I'm just looking at this now. I'm just saying, look, it weren't R9, but look, cool. But we're going to chop it up. We got JC in the building as well, saying Darwin's celebration was hilarious. My daughter came back home and threw her jersey about 2 minutes before Darwin scored the first goal. Her mood changed instantly. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you because you don't want to start off. Do you know what I mean? Her early memories of Liverpool being taken off the top and dashing it on the floor. Do you know what I mean? That would have just been, do you know what I mean? Like, I might have to go and support Man United or Spurs or whoever's in fashion right now. Do you know what I mean? We've got Ravi in the building as well. Big up to Ravi. We've got K-Mac in the building as well. We've got Ram in the building. He's going to be joining us shortly saying, big up JJ. Nunez reminded me of another number 9 yesterday. Which one? Origi? Which one? Chat to me. It reminded me of Origi.
Voronin.
I hear you.
Same hair, you know, well, same like hair. Something.
Yeah, I know what I mean. We got Liverpool 12th man saying at the Jerry James show, D9, 2 down, 18 to go. Before you both are eating Invaser humble pie. Give me a you never walk alone if you are a believer in the chat. Guys, that's what we actually need to know. Who's a believer of Darwin Nunez to get 20 plus goals in the league alone? Hit a you never walk alone in the chat right now. But shout out to Liverpool 12th man as well. Listen, we're still on for it, bro. That's right. You're right. It's 2 down, 18 to go. The numbers are still in my favor at this moment in time. Do you know what I mean? We're not at 9 goals, 10 goals. Do you know what I mean? Midway through the season.
Start to compete, boy. 7 games in, boy.
Exactly. Ally Nuss saying evening to yourself as well. We got Outsider in the building saying, I'm talking for months that Nunez must start games. This is his season. He is ready. He needs game. He's hungry, etc., etc. Hope he's going to start now. Big up for you two brothers. Big up to yourself, Outsider, as well. Big up to Rad Kingston in the building as well, saying Chaos9. Igloo back up saying, is there going to be any Nunez apologies? I don't know. Is there going to be Nunez apology? G, have you got anything to say at this moment in time?
Hey, go watch my match reaction, man. You know what I'm saying? I give Nunez this prop. We're going to dive into this whole thing anyway, man. Don't worry about all of that. We're going to dive into it.
We've got Cameron Elder in the building. We've got LFC Aaron, Justin, Ulysses as well. We've got Elias in the building. Who else we got? And Alexander Day lost as well. We got to Alexander saying, Klopp is that brother that you ask if you have 10 years job experience to change the bathroom light bulb. We're gonna chop up, man. We're gonna chop it up, man. But look, let's get into the game, man. Let's get into the nooks and crannies. That's obviously the intro done. 10 minutes in. We're trying to be done in an hour, man. But chat to me. You're going into this game. I know you obviously didn't do the preview, obviously on this channel. We've done it just before the game. I know for a fact that you've done the preview, obviously, on GTV. And if you guys haven't gone and seen, we need to go and... hold on. What the hell is that? Yeah, cool. Yeah, sorry. Obviously, we didn't do the preview, but you've done the preview, obviously, on GTV. Chat to me about what you expected from this game, because I think I don't speak for you, but it was bound to be a difficult game at St. James's Park. It always is, even though we haven't lost to Newcastle since 2015.
Yeah, no, I still thought it was a difficult game anyway. I don't think it was easy in the game. What you said was right. I already had my notes, you know, like when I got back, when I saw the thing flag, I got Liverpool on my sofa score thing. So as soon as they scored, obviously it just flashed up on my phone, and I just see Newcastle 1-0 there, and I saw Van Dijk sent off. I was like, yeah, you see, yeah, it's gonna be crazy cooking, you know, kind of thing. But obviously, credit to the boys. But yeah, I thought it was gonna be a tough game, you know, heading into this. Newcastle still a good team. I think people were going a bit overboard, saying, "Oh, Newcastle not as good," blah blah. Newcastle still finished higher than us last season, and we beat them twice last season. So I think, you know, going overboard with analysis on people saying they're not as good as we think and blah blah. Listen, man, we're 3 games in. I don't think there's anyone who's good or bad apart from Luton. Do you know what I mean? So right now, let's just hold the corner. But it was going to be a tough game.
Don't get twisted. Luton have had a difficult start, man.
No. 100%. I'm not, but you know what I mean? Just in terms of like, that'll be the only team I'm looking at. I don't know if they've even got a point so far this season in the Premier League. So that'll be the only team. But you know, it's Newcastle away, man. That's always tricky, bro. I would love to actually go there to see what it's like, you know, in that stadium, to be fair. What about you, though? How did you see it? Obviously, I tuned into it.
Hold on, I'm trying to get Ram in here, man. 2 seconds. There we go.
Ram, go away, man.
We got to Ram.
Look at Ram. Man.
With that Nunez trim, man. And that's the
yeah, what I'm saying.
2 goals and he's come out the shower. You know them ones there, and he goes,
yeah, bro.
Shut up, bro. Shut up. You matter why.
I don't even have a trim, and I'd rather this.
I've been rocking this trim for time, bro. Time. What you on about? You must say.
He's saying
she's gonna hate me today.
Bro, Bro.
I'm gonna say some wild stuff, and she's gonna kill me.
Yeah, basically.
Well, say your piece, man.
At this game,
Sorry.
obviously, looking at this game, yeah, I was looking at it and I was like, look, it's going to be a difficult game. But looking at the history that we've had with Newcastle, and I'm going to be honest, because we have so much firepower going forward, I thought, look, it might be an end-to-end game, but we'll probably come out 2-1 victors. And I mean, and we did come out 2-1 victors. That was actually my score prediction. But I didn't expect the game to go the way it did. I didn't expect us to have the start that we did. I thought Diaz would be our first goal scorer, and was very nearly was. I mean, obviously, beautiful mazy run, probably rivaling Matoma's jamming from a couple of weeks ago, jinking in and out. A little dink there that you just, I mean, from the angle was difficult, but great run from Diaz. But
why didn't you use his left foot?
Because if he uses his left foot, he's gonna shank it, bro. Like he's not like he went where Mitoma was. Like
because
he's running that way. The goal's to his right. He's had to think it.
Yeah.
The way his body was, it was angled in such a way.
Why are they so defensive? I'm just asking.
Bro, all I'm saying is,
I forgot you didn't watch the game.
Why are they so defensive? No, I watched it after.
Do what the problem is? It's burning him, yeah. And this, I understand it because I've had this.
Nothing burning me, bro.
It's burning him that Diaz. He's showing him, and he's like, "Oh, actually, I'm rating that from him. You know, I'm rating that little combination from him because I guarantee if that was like Pedro Neto from Wolves, he'll be raving about it on his Sky report tomorrow.
I definitely listen. All I wanted to know was why didn't you just put it onto your left foot when you had the space? There was a moment in that move where he could have just put it onto his left foot and just shot, but instead he carried on dribbling with his right foot, and then he ended up having to do that shank thing. I was like, okay, fair enough. And listen, the run was good. I'm not going to take away from the run. It was a good run. Trippier on toast in that movement there, 100%, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I mean, but he got shot on target though. He got shot on target, so cool.
Ram, before we get into it, just give us like a 2-minute quickly. What did you think going on, obviously, into the game?
I thought we are going to draw, man. Honest to God, I'm going to say mindset of view. I thought it was going to be end to end. I thought we'll all be quite wasteful. I thought both goalkeepers are going to be doing a lot of work, and they've been doing a lot of good work. I thought it'd be a good day for the goalkeepers. I thought it'd be a 1-1 draw, but I didn't expect us to have the game at the start that we did. I thought we were going to start off the bat on the move, just a response after Bournemouth, but clearly I was wrong. But again, we'll get back to it. I thought it was going to be an end-to-end game. But yeah, man, that's what I thought. 1-1 originally when we were going into the game.
Obviously, the game panned out to be anything but. Obviously, starting off with a mad decision from obviously the ref. The ref obviously not giving a foul on Trent. That was a blatant barge in the back. Like, do you know what I mean? Trent ending up on his knees in front of Eddie Howe. Do you know what I mean? Chucking the ball away and getting a yellow card for that, which I mean, you could argue was silly on the player's behalf, but at the same time, like, I just think that rule's silly, man. That's football. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm off the pitch. You've not given a foul. Yeah, we need to even things out. Like, I'm not going to allow you just to take a quick throw in and have me off the pitch, innit? Like, I'd want my player to do that.
JJ,
he hasn't done. He's gotten a yellow card. And then obviously...
It was 5 minutes into the game, bro. Like, I've seen so many teams do this shit in 5 minutes, and the referee's like, blows the whistle, goes up to them and like, we can't do any of that. None of that. That's your final warning. If you do that again, we're going to get booked. There was no warning. I swear to God, look, I don't get at referees yet, but this referee had an ego about him, in my opinion. Had an ego about him. And I just don't like that, man. I really don't. I really don't. He wants to make it sure that he had the game in his hands. And it's just, referee better, man. Oh, but yeah, we're in England, so you can't ask for much, can you?
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And obviously, Trent then obviously getting the yellow card. We got obviously the yellow card situation, so massive decision there when he's put his hand out in front of Gordon, which, if we're being honest, that incident isolated should have definitely been a yellow card.
100. And
then obviously Trent after that, ball goes under his foot, which is so unlike. I've never seen that happen to Trent ever. Like I've never seen the ball just go under his foot, which is obviously that just can happen in football, innit? It's happened before. It's going to happen to someone else again, but so unlike him. Obviously, we're going to analyze that bit of the game, because I think that's a real important kind of side of the game that people aren't really talking about. And then obviously going on to obviously Verge's red card, which mostly going to debate, we're going to obviously chop that up. And yeah, obviously Darwin Nunez's goals and obviously how we performed, obviously going on from there, man. But yeah, just starting off and just having a look at the stats, man. Let me get this up for everyone. Oh, it's a lot of work, man. 2 seconds, people.
Not gonna lie, I would have straight up slapped that referee, bro. I swear to God.
Just before whilst you're getting that up, yeah, I know we're talking obviously, yeah. I don't think it would have been a yellow card on Gordon, but the two incidents are not related. So the yellow card for Trent was the right call at the end of the day. As you said, it's the rules. Can't do that. He did it. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like Gordon's thing was mad enough to give a yellow card for. Like they were both going for the ball. You could just see it. Like it was one of those kind of things. At that moment in time, I don't think it was that mad. If Trent was maybe a bit further away, from the touchline, I maybe would have. But then we can't then sit and complain because me and you watch NBA. In the NBA, you can get a technical for opening your mouth. Like if you say anything to the referee, that's technical straight away. Like you're like, so even I'm like, rah, like man didn't even say anything. Man was just about to open his mouth and the referee's on him. So I think like depending on what we want from referees, I understand we got like there has to be a level of perception and leniency in certain situations. But then the rules are the rules. If you did something, you deserve to get it. And it's like,
I'm not 100% agree. The major difference for me is that if you're comparing the NBA has a very kind of transparent kind of refereeing board and decisions. So you can go and see everything in the game. The fans, the players, the people on the TV can hear the referees discussing what's going on, what incident they're viewing. Not only that, teams have about 3 challenges or 5 challenges that they can make per game. Yeah. They've got challenges they can make per game. So in that situation, and obviously if it's successful, you don't waste your challenge. So straight in that situation right there, as an example, would have been great if Klopp could have been like, nah, challenge that decision. Challenge that decision. They go back and be like, actually, that's a foul on Trent.
I kind of wish we had challenges.
We've decided to
I'm thinking about it now.
Because cricket has the same thing. You have reviews. Like, as in, like, you can review it. You do the whole and check if it goes upstairs and then done.
And that would be good to go and do it, because when we're looking at it, B and C situation does not happen if the primary reason for Trent dashing the ball is given a yellow card, or not even a yellow card, if you're just given a foul. If it's like, no, Gordon, that's a foul, Trent picks up the ball, we start playing, we're not talking about this, and then we're probably not talking about the verge. Like, it's obviously everything has a knock-on effect, so it's an interesting one. But looking obviously here, these are obviously the stats. Apologies. Let me see if I can actually get Ram out of the way, man.
You mean in the way, bro? You mean in the way?
Nah, I'm gonna see if I can get Ram out of the way, like so you can see, like so that everyone can see. But considering
this is calm,
let's go. We'll keep you there.
So you're a mug, bro.
Yeah, so as we can see, obviously, Gordon and Nunez, the 2 goal scorers in the game. Newcastle are on the left, people. So Newcastle actually ended up having 23 shots to obviously Liverpool's 9. 8 of those being on target for Newcastle, with 4 of our shots being on target. Both teams only created 1 big chance. It's really interesting to deem what obviously Stat Zone view as a 1 big chance. 508 passes completed to 307 for Liverpool. 103 of obviously Newcastle's passes were completed in the attacking third. In comparison, only 49 passes were completed in the attacking third for Liverpool. Newcastle had 19 take-ons, with Liverpool having 22 take-ons. 13 crosses to 16 crosses in favour of Liverpool. 29 tackles for Newcastle, 22 for Liverpool. 5 interceptions and 8 interceptions for Newcastle. So Newcastle beating us on that metric. And then obviously Liverpool conceding more fouls, Liverpool actually being fouled more by Newcastle, 16 fouls to Liverpool's 10. Looking at those stats, G, what surprises you? Or is there nothing that really surprises you?
The shots, no, because they had the 11 men. I kind of expect them to have that many shots. passes. Yeah, there's nothing really that stood out that I was like, rah, they got that. I mean, they had 23 shots. If anything, I'm more surprised that Newcastle just weren't able to put chances away. They had moments in the game. Obviously, shots on target, he said it's 8. I remember Almiron hitting the post. Obviously, that's deemed to be technically off target, which I understand. But I remember that thinking, shite, that was going in. But I don't really remember too much of their chances, if I'm being real. I mean, they had like Gordon who was taking like pot shots from outside the box and stuff like that. They had chances though where they should have done better. Almiron skying it over the bar, scores that again. I forget another. Obviously, the Ali save, Jesus Christ. Obviously, I guess we'll talk about that. At some point, he scores that. They had the chances really to put the game to bed. In that game kind of thing where we would have been out of sight before we even got those 2 goals. So yeah, I think luck played a part in our victory, man. But got the victory in terms of the stats itself. It kind of shows that because even the one big chance, I wonder what they deem to be big chance for either side. Like what do they consider to be a big chance, so to speak? Because I would have thought Nunez is, unless one of those are Nunez's chances. And I don't know what theirs might have been the goal that they scored. So I don't know. Interesting to see though.
I think the Mo Salah passed towards Nunez. The second goal would have counted as a chance, but Jota's one would have been cancelled out because it was a miscontrol.
Oh yeah, because he got yes. You're right.
It still gives him the assist, but it's weird like that. It's very weird.
Because technically, it wasn't a chance created by Jota. Really shouldn't have got the assist, but I get it kind of. But yeah, okay, I can see why that would be considered a big chance then, because it hit the defender. He was just lucky to get onto the end of that. To be honest, the defender fucked up.
Because I think it's the whole case that it's the thought that counts, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's there. It really was the thought that counts. So
yeah, but
that's true. Yeah.
In terms of this, I think the one big one is the why did you just kick out G, bro?
No, G kicked himself out. Was it?
The big one for me is the chances created for Newcastle. I think Newcastle should have with 10 men should have done better. From what I was seeing from them, it was lethargic, it was slow, it was crap, it was just basically give it to Gordon and see what happens. And when it was 2v1, they couldn't do anything, So I'm surprised that they only made one big chance from that 90-minute play. They with 10 men as well, they should be breaking us down easy, and they didn't.
I mean, it's just funny because when we go and talk about obviously playing against 10 men, everyone expects these teams to win. Whereas when you look at the stats, it's actually more difficult to, because teams put an onus now on defending their box, not necessarily going for the win. I think we've criticized teams of like Arsenal or United in the past where, they go down to 10 men and it just becomes like a free-for-all. Like it's just, they open their legs and it's like 9-2, 8-2. They just start getting just rinsed out. Whereas in actual reality, you see it. Newcastle, when they just wanted to defend, you can get a 1-0. Do you know what I mean? 10 men is always more difficult when a team's not even thinking about going forward. They're just like, clear the ball, let's start again. Clear the ball. Remember, they do this in training. They do 9 versus 11 defenders versus attackers, and it's just like we do this for an hour and it's just defend your box.
Normally when teams that do well when it's 10 men is the teams that actually don't play well the first half. Because if you think about one thing that stands out was the Mane Kung Fu kick on Edison. It was relatively even. We both had our chances. Mo Salah was cooking Otamendi, and Firmino was doing his thing. Mane was getting in some good areas to get his shot away. The only times that teams struggle is when they actually dominate them from before the red card, and are expected to dominate even further after the red card. So maybe there's something behind that.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. But obviously, going into the game, we've got the situation, man. And let me see if I can get this up. Which one is it? Bear in mind. Yeah, so this one, people, obviously, this is the first situation. Obviously, before we went down to 10 minutes, is obviously us conceding the goal. And obviously, we spoke about the Trent situation. Here, really, really interesting. Obviously, Matip wins the headline down to Salah. Obviously, Salah tries to knock it back into Trent, and then obviously we'll go and show the different stills. Looking at this, do you see anything wrong, G, with not only Salah's pass to Trent necessarily, but just Liverpool's positioning?
I don't think so. Wasn't this from when Salah gets the ball? I'm just trying to think when he got the ball. But in terms of positioning,
he gets the ball and he passes it to Trent.
No. I'm trying to think who did Salah get the ball from? I was trying to remember how that Matip.
Matip headed to him.
The only thing I can think of, I see the comment, we're so high. I think that's just normal. So I'm not really bothered about that. Like that just is what it is. Not too much, I'll be real. Like, because the reality is, if that pass was, I mean, I'm not going to criticize the pass because Trent should still control it. But let's say that was just a calmer pass. The only issue you probably would have had is that Trent didn't really have that many options anyway to pass to, regardless. Even if he did control that ball, who is he going to give the ball to? Like, that would have been my thing, is where are you passing this ball? Because unless it's going to be all intricate football in the middle of the park, which you could potentially play, but they were pressing. Because by the time Salah gets that ball under his control, whoever that left back was, I think it was Dan Burn, he's close-ish to him, but he drops off a little bit. Gordon is right next to Trent. So that would have been a difficult thing anyway. So I would have been like, well, who's he going to pass to? You're giving it to him, that's fine. But have you thought about that third pass? That would have been my issue, because he's not passing it to anyone. He'd have to go back. He'd literally have to potentially have gone back, to think, or Trent's got to take a step out and just launch it forward and pray that one of these strikers or attackers are going to, get a foot on the ball. So it's like, I can't really see too much. It's just more, why pass to him when you could have maybe taken that touch, potentially held the ball up yourself, turned and gone, or passed it to whoever, I can't see, but whoever that is, the closest Liverpool player to him, I don't know who that is. Gakpo. I'm going to say Gakpo. Yeah, Gakpo. Maybe passed it into him, keep the ball a little bit, but I wouldn't have gone back. Like, back, I felt was just like, why do you go back?
Especially with his space, he could have taken a touch into there, dragged that.
That's what I'm saying.
Spread it or something. I agree. The biggest issue that I see in this, and obviously we're going to talk about, is Matip here. Now, when Matip's headed the ball into Salah, he's done well. He stepped into kind of jamming in a more advanced position, won the header, set good header into Salah. The problem is here. Matip stays in that high position. And when he's in that high position now, he's essentially just in no man's land. He's now in the midfield. The back line's now disjointed because Trent is obviously always going to be high, but you want your centre-backs a bit deep. You don't want everyone flat. You want your centre-backs a bit deeper. In this situation, Virgil's the only deepest centre-back. Matip is still just, once that happens, he actually just doesn't move. I watched it back. He wins the ball and just stays in the midfield. There's no footwork to get back into position. There's no, I'm going to go and press onto Joe Linton to not allow him to get the ball or even make an option for Salah. It wasn't anything like that. He just stood there. And when Salah's played that pass into Trent, that already is causing issues, because Matip should originally be covering Trent. I mean, covering Alexander-Arnold, because he hasn't really got a man on him. Even a couple yards back, it means that even if Trent makes that mistake, Matip could be able to recover. And I'm looking here, and this is exactly what we're talking about. This is obviously another angle here. When Trent makes that mistake, because Matip is so high, Matip can't recover now, because Matip's actually in line with Trent when you actually don't want that, especially if Trent's always going to be the more advanced. And as a result, that happens there when Trent is actually deeper than Matip at this point, where Matip should be the one cleaning up. And I think Konate's helped us with that a lot, because Konate would have had the pace, but not only that, the game fitness, the match sharpness to be like, all right, cool, I need to get into position and obviously drop off and obviously mop that up. And I think that was a massive, massive issue, like, for Matip in the game. I know he had a decent game by all accounts, but I'm going on to now. Obviously, this is the goal for this is the second goal. Obviously, this is not the second goal, but this is obviously the red card, the Van Dijk red card. And look, very similar situation here where, you know, Trent can't really touch Gordon anyway. So he's obviously trying to recover back into the back line because he knows once I touch him again, if I get another yellow card, it's going to be a red card. I mean, we're already rattled. Gordon plays a pass in between Matip and Isak. Now, Matip should really be the one tracking. Like, I know Van Dijk's tracking Isak, but Matip looks like he's looking at Isak and he's facing that way. So if anything, he should be not only trying to be reading the pass, he should be trying to go and track the runner. And Van Dijk should really be passing that man on. What happens, in my opinion, is Matip then turns his body and it's like he can see that pass coming, but doesn't anticipate, doesn't make a run to go and cover that run of Isak, even though he can see Virgil's being beaten there, because both of them can make that tracking run. They haven't got anyone there. Trent's obviously trying to track Joe Linton. He's not tracking Joe Linton, so he's not being pulled apart by that way. And as a result, Van Dijk makes a challenge that obviously ends up being a red card. And I think there were so many stages in the game and so many stages that Martin was involved in that actually resulted in us kind of being all over the place. And I did think that was representative of him just not even having a lot of games and not having game time.
But do you think you see when you go back to the if you go back to that picture before the last picture, the second to last picture that you put up where Gordon runs in?
Oh, the first hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can see.
Yeah.
No, not that one. The next one. The one where Gordon's where you said Trent can't touch him.
Oh, here.
Yeah. So, yeah, that one, yeah. So, sorry, I'm just looking at it on a computer. The Matip thing, I do hear slightly because I mean, I can't, because it's so far away, I guess, in terms of the Zoom or whatever. But I'll be real, there's no midfield whatsoever. Like, no one. Like, there's not even one person who's even remotely close to even getting a challenge in on a Gordon, i.e., you should be stopping that before we even get to talk about Matip and his positioning and all that kind of stuff. Because of how quick the game is moving, I expect at least one per Endo, McAllister. He just ran into the middle and just had all the time in the world to play that pass. He literally had all the time in the world to play that pass. That's where I'm like, I hear it in terms of, obviously, at the end of the day, we're in this position now. So you need to obviously then pattern up your side of things. But he shouldn't have even been in that position. We should have had someone who's in there, who's already there to, even if you don't even snuff it out, you cannot make it this easy, bro. Like he had all the time in the way. He could have done anything. Play it there.
Do you know why?
Right. He could have even played it in between Van Dijk and Robbo if he really wanted to.
I think it's because of how quickly they end up going from our front line to the back line. Their transition was so quick, and it's a worry because they completely bypassed our both centre mids in like a couple of passes, and then Gordon got onto the ball and cut inside. Endo was tracking, I think, Joe Linton's advanced run, and it just allowed him to have space. And Szoboszlai and McAllister are just tracking back, and they can't get there in time because they're already so far up the field. And I think it comes down to the fact that is whether we have to take care of the ball better, and we have to be able to transition back to our defense a lot quicker. Because what we were so good at before was, as soon as we lost the ball, defensive transition was so quick. Now it's slowed down a lot more, and we still kept our tendencies of not keeping the ball better or taking care of it taking a lot of care with it.
Yeah, but
that's a big issue.
But this is my problem. This is my problem is that if I get up again, Endo's doing his job. Yeah, Endo's here. He's blocking. He's trying to block the run of whoever that is.
Joe Linton, I think.
Yeah, so he blocks the run of Joe Linton, which is fine. You've got Gordon that's playing that pass. Trent, obviously, rightfully so. You don't want to start ending up going into midfield and lopsiding that. You need to go and get back, because if Gordon plays that ball out wide, we need Trent in that back line anyway to cover that back post. So he's done fine. Szoboszlai, McAllister is like the striker in this picture.
But this is what I'm saying.
But that's the thing. That's we have to ask ourselves, where did we lose the ball at what side of the pitch did we lose the ball? And it was high up the pitch.
But it was high up the pitch. But this is the problem then. Why are we trying? Why did Liverpool? And this is when I wanted to go. See, people are praising Klopp, and to a certain extent, rightfully so, because he's made subs and the subs have worked. So we've got to praise him, and that's his job to go and make subs. I'm not really going to go say anything. But in that first 20, 30 minutes, I was like, this German man hasn't got a clue. Because what you've tried to do is knowing that, you know what, for the first time in a long time, our midfield is probably better on the ball than a lot of opposition midfielders. So on the ball, in terms of being able to play at the pass, whether that is still an Endo, whether that's a Szoboszlai, McAllister, them on the ball is a better side than them off it. Like they're better players on the ball than off the ball. But we are trying to go and play this off the ball type of stuff, off the ball type of football. So that first 20 minutes is end to end, and we're trying to do what Newcastle are good at. Newcastle are designed to be quick on transitions, which they were, run you down, run out the ground, get to first and second balls quicker than you're able to. So Sandro Tonali played as a deep. Sandro Tonali is a combative kind of midfielder. I mean, can do a bit of everything. Greenwich is the same, and you've got Joe Linton who's the same. He's just a beast in the midfield. We're trying to go and play this rock and roll football. That story, it's expired. It's fossil football for Liverpool right now because A, we haven't got the players. B, teams know how we're going to go and play. And not only that, we're not the best at it because Newcastle are the best at it at the moment. Newcastle are the best at it. That's why Newcastle were causing us issues, because we were trying to go toe to toe for them. Yeah, we're going to see it. Let's see who can outrun who. You give it to Gordon, we give it to Diaz, and let's see what you guys can do. And we're just going to try run at you and press you and win the ball here and do this fast kind of all action type of football. When in actual reality, we shouldn't have done that. We should have went into the game and tried to kill off the atmosphere first 10 minutes.
We've got the players to do that as well.
That's my point. Why didn't we do it though? Why didn't we do it? Why are we pumping the ball long into Salah? Why is Virgil doing that?
One thing I didn't like was the fact I want to get the stats up for McAllister. I want to see how many touches he had in the first half, because I don't think because my man was just catching shadows, bro. He just couldn't keep up with it. And then when he did have the ball, he was just getting pressed by 3 or 4 men, left, right, and center, and even at times behind him as well.
This has been my problem with Liverpool recently. Look, we're winning. So listen, we're unbeaten. So it's like, why are you moaning for, kind of thing? So, which I understand. But when you're looking at these little intricacies over a period of a season, they'll either catch up with you, or you better just pray you just go into the maddest level of form and things just click for you at a later date. See, stuff like this is why I get annoyed with Liverpool and the way that Klopp plays, is because you've got players to play, as Jerry said, one way of football. You've got these kind of players who are better on the ball than they are off it. Why are you playing ball like we still have Henderson, Milner, Wijnaldum, and all them man in the midfield? I just don't really understand it. Like, I really, really don't get it. Like, why are we still playing that ball? And then when you do decide to play that kind of football, you then want to play it with these techie guys. But then with the industrial players, when you've got like the Elliots on the pitch and the Joneses or whatever, now you want to be doing that build-up play. I'm like, hold on a minute. Pick one. You keep going the opposite way every single time with different players that you've got on the pitch. I don't really understand it. That's why I'm getting a bit confused with a lot of these things, man. I mean, Szoboszlai, McAllister, everyone's been praising Szoboszlai, had a good game. But what we're seeing from Szoboszlai, if you're going to sit here and tell me, man, are saying he's the Gerrard regen, and this is the best of Szoboszlai we're going to see, so Henderson 2.0 effectively. That's all I'm seeing. It's just Henderson 2.0. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything amazing. I'm just seeing he's doing a job, which is good for the team, and then that's it. McAllister's getting blown in these games. Like, he is letting the games pass, man, all the time, bro. Like, all the time.
One thing I would say that I didn't like seeing enough of was Szoboszlai getting on the ball and get dragged and creating that pressure on him, because he just what we've seen of him for the last 2 games, his close control is second to none. He's very hard to get off the ball, both running with it and also when he has about 2 or 3 men around him. Having a player like that who has that quality, we should be doing more of that. We should be telling Szoboszlai, attract 2 or 3 men, bring them out so he could give it to McAllister, because McAllister's passing is second to none in my opinion. I think he's a very incredible passer on the football. Give it to him in space, and let's see what he could do. And I just don't think we haven't seen enough of it. And I don't know why, because those are 2 kind of ways of football that benefit both midfielders, and they actually play to their strengths, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I don't know if am I talking shit, or am I just this? Am I just, you know?
No. 2 seconds.
No,
Shout out to Alan Ness as well. Alan Ness has obviously just become a member as well for the channel. So massive thank you for that, guys. As we know, membership is obviously open on the channel. And obviously the content is loaded, waiting for it to pick up, because I don't want to go and drop content. A lot of you guys miss out on it. I want you guys to obviously be waiting for that. So massive appreciation. I mean, the early birds, the people that are in there are going to get something special, 100%. We've got Jamrock saying we played compact at 10 men versus 11 because we were forced to. 100%, man, 100%. But yeah, like for me, it's still a tactical issue. I think, and this is the problem as well, is that when we're going forward and when we're in these attacking transitions, the likes of McAllister and Szoboszlai are really happy to get forward, like naturally, because they're like, oh, we're on the attack now, so I need to support the attack. We were actually leaving, and a lot of people, and I actually wanted to talk about this, the Endo situation, the hate that this brother is going and getting, and I think wrongfully so. In my opinion, we could have had Doucouré in midfield, we could have had Busquets in midfield, we could have had whatever DM in midfield. He would have been pulled apart in that game. Pulled apart, because he's got a situation where he's like, do I stay with the back line and stay in front of them, but you got Szoboszlai and McAllister running left and right? Do I go towards the McAllister's side and try win the ball back straight after him, right? And risk being beaten by a 1-2 and then they're running at our defense? Or do I stay back and kind of marshal that defense? And it's the same situation and the same issues that Fabinho was going through as well. It's crazy to me. It's like we were leaving him out to try. Yeah, on the ball, he actually showed, without long passes and short passes, he was actually quite progressive. He was able to go and find the front man really, really easy. Like his passes going forward were really good, but he couldn't do anything. And a lot of the time when he's there, he's having to go and be like that final press before they go and beat us, where he's having to go and make a 20-yard sprint into like no man's land to try and beat like Guimaraes about to go and do a left turn or right turn or a Tonali. You know what I mean? And then they're just running out of defense because McAllister's on the left wing, like they're close to Robbo, and Robbo's out of position, and you've got Szoboszlai on the right doing something. There's no connectivity in that midfield. And I know it's a second game, but this is mad to me, man.
No, bro, I agree with you, man. And this is why I keep asking the question: why does everybody keep saying they want a new DM? Like, what is the new DM going to do? Like, I don't understand. Like, man are telling me we need a DM. Liverpool are one DM. All I saw last night from the reaction, Liverpool are one DM away and a centre back. As soon as we get that, we're going to be absolutely fine. Why would we be fine? I really don't even understand the logic that people are going through.
One thing I would say about the DM, and I said this on the terrace, and JJ, I don't know, JJ didn't agree with it completely, but I feel as though the one weakness we had when it came to Endo is on the ball. In terms of passing wise, it's not good enough.
But this is why.
But JJ, listen to me. In terms of what I mean by is, one thing I rate so highly about Fabinho, and I think people really underestimate it about him, is the fact is his passing, his weight of pass and his passing range is very, very underrated, because he was the kind of player that can find the chip balls in towards your Manes, your Firminos, your Salahs, and people like that, and just break up the entire midfield player, get it straight to the attack. When Newcastle didn't press Endo, I was like, bro, you're gonna have to find a pass, because
but a lot of the time when he made the passes, they were into someone's feet. Like I'm not here. I don't need like some spray little chip ball that Fabinho used to do, or like a Hollywood pass that just goes across the box and we're like, yeah, we're going.
That's not what I'm asking, JJ.
Like, this is the problem, and this is the problem that I've got, is that you've got someone like Endo that, yeah, long passing is not his forte. He's not like some mad worldy long pass. Like Fabinho used to play a lot of passes. But his passes were into feet. They were into feet of people. But the problem is, when he's doing that, Salah gets the ball and he's like, there's no one near him to go and set it off to. The distances between the midfield aren't there. We should easily.
It wasn't enough though.
1-2, and come out of it, and just come out of those situations.
What Endo is so good at, and I rate him highly for, is the fact that when he is in possession, the way he could spin a man and just continuously run towards the opposition area. That's what he's really good at. But when it comes to the ball at his feet and he needs to look up and see if he can find a man when there's like 3-4 players surrounded, he's not that great.
I think
that's what we're going to be experiencing.
Maybe so, but I don't think. Maybe so, but I don't think that was our issue. I actually don't think with Endo that was our issue in the game. I think our issue was.
No, I'm just talking in general. I'm talking in general, JJ. In terms of why I feel we need another DM.
Yeah, but no, but what? How does that DM solve the game? Though, just forget what you're talking about. Like having another DM, I get that. How does that solve the Newcastle game? What difference does another DM make? And I don't want to hear.
That's the point.
He might have gone and played a long pass that got Salah in. I don't want to hear that. In that game, the way the game was, in defensive transitions especially, how does another DM help us? Unless it's Kante, like prime Kante, that just eats everything up by himself. And even then,
but the thing is, we got Endo in anyway, who was supposed to be. I'm not saying supposed to be Kante, of course not, but he was supposed to be that defensive-minded midfielder, and that's why that's what I'm saying to people is like at the beginning of the window, you thought, yeah, Liverpool need a DM, blah blah blah. We signed the DM, nothing has changed. Like I thought by signing Endo, we would see a little bit of a difference in defensive transition. That's exactly what I thought. I thought, fuck it, you sign someone. He's the DM. He plays there. I'm going to see something a little bit different. Then it's all about the quality of DM that you then find after that. Then I'm like, okay, let's go out and try and sign someone. We signed the DM people, and that DM hasn't changed at all. The way, as Jerry said, anything like we could have had Doucouré in there. It could have had, even if you had Kante in there. Like Kante, yes, he can eat things up by himself, but when he was at Leicester City and he had Drinkwater and whoever else, but alongside of him, helping him, not just him on his ones, helping him along to do what he was doing. Same thing at Chelsea, having the Jorginhos or whoever next to him who help in certain phases of that. Of course, now Kante can eat up and do the other doggy work that these guys are not necessarily going to do. Having Kante in this team, Jesus Christ, he would absolutely die. Like he would actually die in this team because we leave a man isolated all the time and it's just open. It's just always open. But tactically, we're not changing it. So I'm just like, I don't get how a team like Jurgen Klopp's team, I just don't get how we've gone from, in my opinion, we were so solid even in defensive transition, that 18-19, 19-20 season. And all of a sudden, we've just gone, it's just been just open. Like, just so open. And people kept telling me, yeah, we got a new midfield, energy. This energy ain't helping shit. Like, we ain't done nothing with this energy. We've conceded a goal in every single game that we've had. We've conceded chances after chances in it. Newcastle had 23 shots in a flipping game. Yeah, I mean, context or no context, they had bare shots in the game, and they had bare shots prior to, you get what I'm saying, but prior to us even scoring the goal. So it's like, I just don't see how this doesn't pan out badly for us later on, unless you change it tactically. Change it tactically, yeah. I think it could be different.
Because for me, look, the defending is always a team thing. We always spoke about with Liverpool, the defending was from the front. It was the fact that Mane and Bobby were able to press so well. Then you had Gini, Hendo, and Fabinho pressing so well, which enabled us to be so good defensively. Then obviously our defenders were able to obviously go and help out defensively and do a lot of the defending as well. Right now, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like it's like we're putting all this onus on a DM to do all the defending, when in actual reality, it shouldn't be that. It should be the whole team. Well, whereas exactly. I'm not seeing the same. Like we're talking about McAllister. You're just talking McAllister being spun. Wijnaldum wasn't getting spun like that. Mm. But guess what? Thiago was getting spun last season when he played there. He was getting spun in the. If he won, he would make a last minute slide tackle. The man would skip him. And then it would be the same situation. What I was watching from a defensive standpoint is the same thing we saw last season.
But by the way, I don't think Endo was poor. By the way, I feel like there was a bit of an overreaction from what I saw. Like, I didn't think it was like poor or anything. Like I thought he played better than McAllister.
I think it was steady.
No, but that's.
I thought he was better than McAllister. You know what I'm saying?
But that's
I thought McAllister was poor.
No, but this is my point. This is my point, though. But this is my point: is that we're asking for some world class, like DM like
No, the fans are asking for a unicorn, bro. They're asking for a unicorn.
Rodri is like the creme de la creme that you cannot just go and get. Like Rodri's gonna probably go down as one of the best DMs that have been. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, if he carries on just winning and stuff, that's what we're going to be talking about. Doucouré does not solve that. I'm sorry. I saw Doucouré against Arsenal. He does not solve that. Doucouré against Arsenal is not that much of an upgrade on Endo, and that doesn't mean I don't want another DM instead of Endo. What I'm trying to say is that the team, whoever we go and put in that situation, is gonna go through that. What, man? We're talking about getting Gravenberch in there. What's Gravenberch gonna do in that situation? That's already attacking minded.
Look, like I said, I just think I don't think Tchouaméni will be able to handle it, because you got to realize the game that he plays at when they're playing over there at Real Madrid in terms of that level of intensity, and he's not left so wide open when he's in that midfield. It's not like he stands there in the midfield and he's got to cover every yard of grass. Like, it doesn't work like that at Real Madrid when he's playing, and they don't face opponents in that kind of way where they're being attacked in that kind of transition because of how they actually play. So they're not getting attacked like that. At Liverpool, you will be attacked like that. That's why I keep saying it's not going to matter. And the only person you need to keep looking at is the manager, because this is the manager's problem. The manager can buy everything. Yeah, I'm trying to say it don't really make a difference.
The only way I can think of either fixing this is telling Matt to step back 5-10 yards. And that's the only way.
No, but that's fine.
To pivot with the other DM.
But I agree. You can tell everyone to step back as a team, yeah, and we can try and defend deeper. And a lot of people, even in the chat, are talking about us saying that, you know, shout out to Jam saying we actually played better with 10 from a defensive standpoint than in 11, and 100% because everyone had to just go and tuck in. Bear in mind, Trent I thought he had a very, very decent game after that. Even with the threat of, if I make another challenge anywhere, I'm risking getting a yellow card. Because my man's running at us. They're trying to bring Harvey Barnes on, and he was able to go and see out the game. Gomez came on, was fine. Gomez came on, was fine. He looked decent. Kwanzaa came on and played on the right. Looked decent. Do you know what I mean? Looked decent. Robbo looked fine. All of a sudden, do you know what I mean? Elliott looked fine from a defensive standpoint. But why was that? Because the team was compact and they were deep. But that doesn't allow us to go and play the way we want to go and play, and the way we're going to play, because teams are going to go and give us respect. When you're going to play with 10 men and a team's coming onto you like a Newcastle that wants to win the game as well, you're going to have space. So you're going to be able to go very direct, counter, like we did when Klopp first came, where we were tearing teams up and winning 4-2 and 5-1 and stuff, because we could just counter you, because you're not really respecting us. What happened when teams started to sit back a bit? We had to find a different way of playing. That's when the fullbacks came and we started putting balls into the box and started to control the games a bit better. And we're still the team that people are going to sit off us and be like, go on, because they know. Pep Guardiola spoke about it in his All or Nothing documentary. Liverpool are more dangerous without the ball. So we want them to have the ball. Hence why the results that we've had, that City have had against us, have been games where we've had all of the ball, we're popping the ball and stuff, and then Rodri gets the ball and sprays the ball over the top into Foden, and Foden's running at Milner. Because in transition, do you know what I mean? That if we get encountered, that's how.
That's why people are saying we bought the likes of McAllister, Szoboszlai.
Exactly, Ram. But then why are we not playing in a way?
That's the bro. It's. I said this at the beginning. This is why I'm not being gassed like everyone else about this Szoboszlai thing. I don't give two shits about his running stats. Like, I actually don't care. I'm not saying he's not doing a good job, because he is. He's doing the role that Klopp is asking him to do, and I have to respect him for that. I don't want to see him do that, though. That is not where you see the best of Szoboszlai. Like I said, if this is the version of Szoboszlai that I'm gonna see, then I'm just like, yeah, that's dead, man. I'd rather see something else, kind of thing. Like that's not gonna win you anything, in my personal opinion. Like, it will just be a basic kind of performances. He's running around, he's probably covering bare ground and stuff like that. But you watch it, it's funny because like Jerry said, where Newcastle kept pushing forward, it left gaps. They had obviously the numerical advantage, but they kept pushing forward, it left gaps. You can't leave gaps for people like Nunez, Salah, Jota. These men are quick thinkers, and they're quick on and in getting in behind. That's how we then score the goals. But if we're talking when we had 11 men on the pitch, I just think Liverpool at the moment have an issue with the way that we want to play. That's the main thing. Is I don't think we know how we want to play.
Talk about
Angel
identity.
1968. You a little bit, a bit of an identity crisis. Like Angel just said it there in his comment about also Mane and Firmino worked hard defensively. I do not even think people even grasp how much more important that is than having your midfield doing all this stuff that we want the midfield to do. Without having your three front players doing what Mane, Salah, and Firmino used to do for Liverpool, it doesn't matter about the midfield. Like the midfield can be anybody. You're always going to be at a disadvantage because they would like. Remember, it starts from the front. The press doesn't start from the middle. Where you might get Naby Keita who might try and help out with the front players. He used to always push forward and help out, but it starts from the front. Mane, he presses, and he even presses. You used to see the way he used to angle his run in the way that he used to press. Firmino do the same thing. Salah do the same thing. He used to push them a little bit out, forcing it out.
So the team knows. Exactly. So the team knows, all right, cool. That's why I'm pressing, which enabled Fabinho to go and sniff something up because it's easy. It's
exactly.
Put it this way. If I'm pressing the man at this angle, yeah, and then my man's always got is to go and play a pass down the line, and it's the midfielder that's gone and showed for it. It's easy for Fabinho or Milner just to go and be like, have it, and just win the ball or camp him or get there and stuff. When Endo's in the middle of the park and he's like, McAllister's there, Soboslai's there, but the man's running at me here. If I go and press this midfielder here, and this is what happened. If I press this midfielder here, if he spins me, they're running on our defense. But if I allow him to turn and run at us, he's got the quality to go and pick us out. So what do I go and do? If I can see the foul, Trent's already on a yellow card and his place is rattled. What do I have to go and do? I've got to go and press up on him now because I'm the closest man to him. But I'm 20 yards away. I'm 20 yards away to go and press him.
But then that's
it's not like I'm pressing him and he's just like a few yards. Like I'm that clip that people are talking about when I think it was Tonali went and spanned Endo. Endo had to make about a 20-yard sprint, like it was the World Championships. I'm seeing like head shaking and stuff to go and make a press. Like he's not Nunez pressing the keeper, where the keeper can send him and it doesn't matter.
But what you're talking about, the only player that I believe can actually do that is Nunez. I can rely on to actually press.
No, because he doesn't press. He clearly, if Nunez pressed well, Nunez would have played a lot more. He clearly does not press well enough. Hence why he doesn't really press that well.
Do you know who presses better? Do you know who actually presses very, very well? And I think it's the reason why he actually plays for his national team and his club team, even though he's not scoring at the moment. Richarlison.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's the type of 100%.
That's why he goes and plays. That's why he goes.
100%.
He goes and angles his run. He always looks like he's about to get a nick on the ball when the keeper's about to blast the ball out. He does the same thing for Brazil. But that's why Nunez doesn't obviously go and play. But Gakpo recently as well hasn't even been doing it. Yeah.
Even
in midfield, he's like he can't get close to his man either. And when he's there, he's just running around, but he can't get to no one. He's running around, but he's not really doing anything. That's my criticism of him.
It's for me.
I don't know. He's sold.
No. Honestly, I just think that what you need to start doing is, you can do bare things. I don't know what he will do. I just think that the way that we're trying to play, I think he just needs to stick with it. Remember what was happening during pre-season. The excuse I got was we have no other midfielders, so that's why Trent's playing in that DM position. Okay, no problem. What's Trent doing now? Is he playing as just a conventional right back? Because in some games, that's the kind of positions he's taking up. Obviously, we're down to 10 men, so he kind of had to play that kind of position. He's cutting in. If he then cuts in, are we then moving to a double pivot? If it's then the double pivot where he's then alongside Endo in that game, okay, fair enough. Where does then Szoboszlai and McAllister take up? I'm seeing Szoboszlai dropping deep so much. Okay, if he's dropping deep so much, what is the kind of formation that you're kind of playing here? Because now you've almost got 3 players effectively in that kind of area. Szoboszlai is then, playing everywhere along that kind of right-hand side, the left and here. It almost seems like everyone's almost running around with like 3 roles in the team, but you start off at your base position. This is where I say, right now, I agree with what everyone is saying. Right now, it doesn't matter. Liverpool got the 3 points. So guess what? Fuck Newcastle. You get what I'm trying to say? We move to 7 points and then we move. The problem that I'm going to have is that unless you can literally skank your way towards the end of the season, just being scatty and whatever, then cool. If that can happen, no problem for Liverpool. Then we move and we say, fuck it, we won the Premier League just being scatty. Then I'll take that. But if not, which I fear is going to be the issue, tactically, we are so poor tactically, both in defensive transition and offensively at times, that it's just not making any sense. And that's why we're having games where Liverpool are no longer dominating, in my opinion, long periods of these games, where before that's what we were doing. 18-19, 19-20, probably our best seasons, in my opinion. That's where we're dominating majority of the game. Teams are having minimal amounts of chances. They're having chances, but they're having minimal amount of chances. Now it's you're dominating for a little bit of the game. Teams are having they had 23 fucking shots, bro. I don't even know how much Chelsea had. I can't even remember how much Bournemouth had. But these teams are getting in on Liverpool crazy. Why is that? Why are we constantly? And people say, and that's why Jerry's asking. So what's Decore going to do? What is Decore going to do? I don't really. Decore, Busquets, Modric. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Just think of a DM. What are they going to do in this team? Nothing. It's just going to be the same thing that we're seeing. There will just be a different player now in that position which we're going to be cussing. So we just need to change it up and just become a little bit more sure. And you're right. With 10 men, we had to tuck in, and it was a lot better as a unit. We understood the roles as that 10 men. We need to maybe just stick to that in 11 men and just sacrifice the going forward thing so much. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know.
Great example just to go and use, right? Just before we move on. We've got to wrap up soon.
Yeah.
Casemiro last season, best DM in the world, right? When their midfield was able to gel, when the distances were fine, best midfielder in the world. What am I talking about this season? What am I saying this season? He's stretched. He's done. They need to get another DM. Casemiro's too old. But last year, you're trying to tell me he just fell off in the space of 6 months? When last year, man were telling me he's the best DM in the league. It's the midfield, the distances. Bruno and Mount are so far away, they're leaving Casemiro exposed. We said the same thing about Fabinho. He's being left exposed. And you can always defend better as a team if you're compact and you can move left to right. And that's what we were able to go and do. And now moving forward, obviously, Liverpool were able to obviously go and do that in the second half of the game. Nullified really Newcastle's chances. Yes, they had a couple long shots from distance. Obviously, you still need your keeper like Alisson. Shout out to Alisson for that one. Obviously, that ridiculous save from Almiron. That ridiculous save. And I don't like the first save. It's the fact that he was able to even parry it for a corner.
Yeah.
He didn't carry it back out where someone smashed it in. He didn't rely on Gomez having to clear it. It was bang, get up, hook it away as well. I was like, yes, this is what we're talking about, man.
High goalkeeper.
Yeah. That's all Ram was to say, man. 100%.
That's 100%. All there is to say, bro. What else is there to say, man?
It is 100%, man. He came clutch. Most actually saves he's ever had to make in a Premier League game as well, bro, which is 7.
I'm going to say it again, man. Ability-wise, he talks to anyone in Premier League history, man. I'm just saying. Ability-wise, he talks to anyone in Premier League history. I'm going to die on that hill.
The thing is, you can... No, because I was having this conversation earlier on. I agree you're talking about that, but the problem, the thing is, you had to caveat that ability-wise. It's a bit like the Harry Kane thing. Yeah, he's got bare goals for Spurs and that. Is he chatting to Henry? No. In terms of just overall, but that's just my opinion.
If he wins the World Cup, does that change everything? Alisson?
Who? No, because it will have nothing to do with the Premier League. I don't care about you winning the World Cup.
But they talk about everything, though, G.
Nah, they don't. Because Schmeichel didn't win a World Cup. Yeah, I'm trying to say he won leagues. He won leagues with Manchester United, bro. That's all man cares about.
People differentiate him and Petr Cech because he won a Euros.
Nah, I don't think, because I'd still have Petr Cech over Schmeichel anyway. But I'm saying, I'm not looking at you doing whatever for your country to then determine what the hell it is you're doing in that league. No, I'm not saying it doesn't help. But I don't look at that because we're talking about a competition. We're not talking about a genuine overall kind of thing.
He's got
it's like me saying who's a better winger. It's like me asking. I know we're going off topic. It's like me asking who is a better winger in the Premier League, Ronaldo or Salah. We'll probably go with Salah because in the Premier League he's actually been a better winger if we look at everything. But who's been a better player, Ronaldo or Salah? It's Ronaldo every single day of the week, every Sunday of the year. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's just how you then want to look at it. in the context of the, I'm saying, conversation.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Facts. Obviously, moving on again.
What for these flyers, man, bro?
Nunez, man. The Nunez talk. I think that's the best way to wrap it up. I know we've spoken about. Obviously, we spoke about Kwanzaa Gomez able to obviously have decent games as well as a result of obviously being deeper.
That's our boy.
As well, but Nunez, man. I'm gonna let Rams start this one off because obviously Rams getting a lot of deja vu, man. A lot of deja vu. So chat to us, man.
Oh, G's actually gonna find out where I'm gonna live. I'm gonna kill me. I swear to God, because I'm gonna be.
I already know what area you're from, bro. Like you're not far.
I know you. I know we're not far, so I know I'm gonna be locking the doors tonight. But Darwin Nunez, man, I'm gonna say it right here. The performance and the goals that he scored reminded me of a certain number 9 back in 2007. I was transported back into time because not only the difficulty of the finishes, but the composure, and everyone's been banging on to this guy about you are rattled when you get into the box. You have zero composure. You can't finish to save your life. Haaland is clear of you. Haaland knows how to finish. Why are people making comparisons? All of that must have been going in through his head when he's taking that finish. But one thing you got to realize about this guy, instinct. He just goes off instinct. And yes, he covered his ears, blocking out all the haters, man. Blocked out all the haters. And not only that, I said this on the group. I said this on the Terrace group chat. Nunez has to come on. Nunez has to come on because he will change the game. And what would he do? He changed the game. What are you saying, G?
No, I'm reading a comment. No, I was reading a comment because I didn't understand. It wasn't in English. So I was just trying to read it.
Do you want to read it, bro? I'll get it up. Shout out to Honesty.
Is it?
No, I ain't got my glasses. That's why
Ram can read that. Go on.
No, because it says Brussels, and I thought Belgian, and they speak Dutch in Belgium. So yeah.
Right. But yeah, man. G, how impressed were you with Nunez, man?
Very. Those goals were solid. They were some solid. Like that first goal, I love when strikers finish like that. Like when they can just rattle it across the corner and it just went in. I was like, yo, say no more. And then the second finish was a really, really good finish.
Yeah,
was a really good
Nick
finish.
cut the angle off.
Yeah, because he's expected. The difference is that Nunez in that finish had to lift it a bit. Like it was like like Henry would have done that finish, that instep, right? It would have been a similar finish, but rifled into that side netting. Obviously, Henry. But he didn't just rifle it low against the ground because Pope actually anticipated that. It went over his shoulder. So he's had to,
that's what I was trying to think. Like it didn't just like it didn't look like a
he side it, but slapped it into that corner instead of just dying it because
drilling it,
Pope would have had that covered. Pope would have saved that with his feet.
Would have saved it. Listen, the finishes. What more can we even say, man? It's the three things that happened in the game. Ali save and those two finishes were all of like top level quality, man. Like I can't even say anything. That's what I said, bruv. Like Darwin go get his flowers for that, like 100%. Like man can't say anything to them kind of finishes when you're putting the ball in the back of the net like that. I'm like, yo, say no more. But that's where it kind of ends when it comes to Darwin. After that, I'm like, yeah, that's it.
He knows how to piss people off. I swear to God. Like, do you know what after he
you know them annoying brothers, bruv. Yeah, them annoying.
Yeah, he just waits to the camera and does the to the Newcastle fans.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you know how to rattle people. I swear to God.
Do you know what it is though? This is the Nunez I thought we'd be getting, yeah. I know just based on that performance, I thought this is the Nunez we'd see game in, game out. But I would have said it was precedent. People go back to when I spoke about Nunez. I thought that when Carvalho signed, that was an indication that we start playing with a 10. I thought Bobby at the time would play in the 10. Nunez would play as that striker, and we'd be a bit more, as a result, as two DMs, be a bit more solid defensively, but try to hit people on the counter. Torres was great under Benitez, and the reason being is because we could go and hit teams on the counter like that. a lot of Torres' goals were ball over the top from Gerrard, or ball over the top from Jabi Alonso, or pass in between the lines from someone, and Torres is running onto it. It weren't no build-up play, team sitting back, and then within 1-2 ball, little dink round the side, and man was finishing it. Do you know what I mean? Like those weren't his goals. So we're expecting Nunez to do that. It's not his game. That worries me a bit. Because how often are we going to go and be that team that can counter teams? And even if you can do that, when you become the team that everyone knows you're trying to counter, like Leicester were, what happened to Leicester when teams knew that that's what they want to go and do? What happened to Vardy? Still finish, can still score goals because he's a finisher. But whoever the top weren't there that second season, though.
Now, but JJ, one thing that Torres was so great at was he was a poacher in the box.
Yo, I don't even understand why we're even comparing the brother to flipping Torres and that.
No, I'm not. We're not talking like that, G. Calm down. What we're just saying is, saying Michael Owen and them man in the chat. I'm like, bro, do you even know who you're comparing this brother to?
Listen,
like,
you can't speak about Michael Owen when G's in the building, man.
Yeah, that's all myth anyway. Yeah, because Michael Owen shits on anything Darwin Nunez will ever do in his career. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, no, he definitely was not shit. He definitely was not shit. He's better than any striker
Why did he not score 20 goals in the Premier League season? Bro?
I don't need him to score. Why has none of your strikers got Ballon d'Ors? That's the real question. Yeah, now it's an uncomfortable conversation.
Personality contest.
Continue, Jay. Continue, Jay.
Contest.
But looking at Nunez, then obviously, don't tell me we're not going to talk about whether he should start next game or not, because we're going to have to leave that for the preview. We can't just, do you know what I mean, start relaying too much. But there's a lot of talk about people saying, look, this is Gary Neville saying that, look, this could be the emergence of Nunez. This is the like, I've arrived type of like, yeah, I'm back. I've adapted. Second season syndrome with Nunez. It happened at Benfica. It's going to happen at Liverpool. A lot of people said that this will be the case. He'd have a decent season that first season at Liverpool. Second season, he's coming and boom, he's gonna score goals in pre-season. Let's be fair, he was scoring goals in pre-season. Wasn't now selected. Was in the basement for Klopp, man. Like, he was in that basement. Man. Yeah, I mean, Origi's bed was still there. Sheets were still the same dirty.
Oh my god!
I mean, that's the same dirty sheets in it.
It's just like, what is where it is. But G, do you see? Is this Nunez's time now? Do you think we're going to see the best out of Nunez this season now? Shout out to Liverpool 12th man, 20 goals a season striker.
Remember me and you got that bet for 30 goals.
Yeah.
I think we'll see. I think we'll see. Listen, look, I do I rate the guy? Not really, but if he starts putting the ball in the back of the net on a consistent basis, like I said, I will hold that L regardless. Like, I will have to hold it because it's just one of them ones. You know what I mean? If he doesn't really pan out to be, or if he does, pan out to be the striker that everyone keeps telling me, that he will be. I don't see it, but people see it, and fair play to them, kind of thing. You know what's unfortunate right now? We've got one game, which is Villa next, and then we've got international break, so momentum ain't going to be there. That's what's going to kill it. So even if he does do well, let's say he plays against Villa, scores another goal, international break. Now we're gone away, potentially picks up an injury. Now, little things like this, it's like it came at the wrong time. He needed to have this game, first game of the season against Chelsea, play these 4 games in a row, and then obviously, he can build a level of momentum. Not to say that he's going to be shit when he comes back from it, but I just think it's going to be interesting against Villa. He has to score this next game now. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking at a lot of people sideways.
Hey, man. Hey, Ram. Question before we get into the comments, man, and just get into some of these questions and comments before we head off. Is this Nunez arriving? D9.
It's a step in the right direction. I'm not going to fully say he's fully arrived.
Nah, say it with your chest.
I think this could be a start of him starting to settle in England. I think he's the kind of player that needs confidence.
Jesus Christ, he sounds like my son. Oh my God, he needs to be held at night every day. Like, he needs to be told how good of a boy he is. Like, what is this, bro? Like, my son is 3 years old, bro. Like, I've got to comfort him all the time. Let him know Hey, don't worry, little man. You know what I'm saying? See when a child does a drawing, yeah, and the drawing is dead. But you just gotta let man know, like, oh, this look like Picasso, bro. That's
This is why we call you Megatron,
bro. That's what this whole Nunez thing reminds me of. When my son does a drawing from school, and the teachers are like, "Oh yeah, he drew you," and I see the thing looking crazy. I'm like, "Is this what you're doing in nursery?" Yeah, that looks crazy. But I have to tell him, yeah, that's what I'm sounding like. That's what everyone sounds like with Nunez. I'm like, allow me, man.
Patient. I'm gonna be patient with the guy. I've been patient for 1 year. I think I could be patient for another year. But I feel as though
2 years.
I feel as though
Rams are loyal.
Bro, that's loyalty. So your girl cheats on you and you'll still be like, nah, fuck it, man. She was always a good girl. That's what you sound like, anyway.
No,
run your thing,
bro. No, because last year he showed me enough to say, okay, you can stay as a Liverpool player. I'm not gonna fully go out at you. But this is the season where you're like, you gotta do something. As in, like, you gotta hit certain numbers. You gotta hit probably 15 goals in the Prem, or smack it in like 12 goals in Europa.
What's them Saka numbers?
Stupid like that.
Them Saka numbers. That's crazy, yeah? Is that the type of loyalty that you've had on? This is
bro.
All right, cool.
All right.
These are Saka numbers.
Interesting, guys. Let us know, obviously, in the comments what you guys are thinking.
Hey, guys, we're gonna have a debate about this one.
Better than Salah as well, bro. I'm just saying.
We're going to get into the comments as well. We've got Streets Improved Thames saying, at this point of the season, which is more important, results or performances? I'm gonna check this one at G.
Results.
Performances.
Well,
I disagree.
It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter, bro. You don't want to be playing. Hold on, he said he's chucking that G anyway. But I'm saying you don't want to be playing out your skin right now. Like, you imagine you playing out your skin right now, using up all your best football right now, and then man just fades away. Yeah, as in I'd rather Liverpool peak later on.
Now, G, do it.
People in the chat, let me know the answer to it.
Now, just do it in 20-minute spells, and then just kill the game in 20 minutes, and then just play around for the next 70.
But that's still a good performance. Like, you'd want that.
That's a good performance for me. That's a good performance for me.
I want that in January. I want that like City. I want that City City.
That's not going to happen in January because of that.
Bro, City be peaking in March, April, and them thing there. That's why I want to see my team moving crazy.
Exactly.
For me, always performances will be good, man.
Fair.
Start and the end. That.
Cool. We've got LFC Aaron saying, I actually thought Soboslai was poor up until he went to 10 men. Fair. Yeah. We've got Liverpool 12th man saying, Ram, yeah, you need to put your hair up in a man bun in honor of Darwin the Invader.
You see, this is what's all this?
Man. The Invader, you know. We've got Justin Ulysses saying, Jerry, thoughts on Douglas Luiz? A baller, I rate him, innit? He's another DM. I mean, he don't solve our issues, but I like him. I like him as a player, innit? I like him as a player.
Of course he likes him, yeah. Of course he's going to like him.
Of course, man. Jamrock saying, Jerry and G, do we actually play better with 10 men because we play more compact with 10 men and not as open? If that's the case, it's a poor reflection on Klopp. We've already answered that, man. We already answered that. We got Ally Nuss saying Mac and Soboslai are both attacking midfielders. Why did we buy 2 attacking mids instead of buying 1 and centre mid and 1 attacking mid? Schmacker, Klopp, Billy Hogan. If you're watching, just feel free to shout me or G on Twitter or even Ram. You send
yeah, you know like that, bro. Yeah,
you can let us know, man. We've got Angel 68 saying, also, Mane, Firmino worked hard defensively, making it hard to play through us. Our current front three aren't that defensive-minded. Facts. And we've got Naldo saying, only thing Gravenberch has that could improve us is his size, but we already have technical players.
That's the only thing.
That's mad.
That's why people say he could play the DM because he's like 194 centimeters, like 6'4", 5 or something like that.
So Jerry might as well play there then.
Yeah.
I'm more defensive-minded anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Man's a centre
back. Bro,
could do better, bro.
Yeah. Angel 968 saying, I agree, G. The players in midfield are too far away from each other. This is Klopp, like it or not. It's the way it is. Things will never be the same. Just the way it is. Yeah. We got OIB saying, Al Itti had high interest in Gomez. Would y'all sell Gomez right now? Quick
Go on,
answers,
JJ.
quick fire answers from Ram first.
Go on, JJ.
From Ram first.
Well, seeing as though Konate's injured, we can't sell him. So no, I won't sell him.
G?
Yeah.
Yes. Keep it level.
Damn. So who are you
Jerry.
gonna get? No. Who are you gonna get? Who are you gonna get?
That's a show for another day, bro.
That's another conversation, bro. It's another
Oh,
conversation.
of course it is. Oh.
We got Keep It Level saying, is there no Monday night Coppish tonight or no? What's good, Jerry and panel? Listen, I hear that. Shout out Coppish. How can you come on this channel asking us if there's no Coppish tonight?
Man, forget all of that. Man, I don't want to hear about no Coppish tonight. Big up the man, then. Big up Kyle, big up Drifty, big up Matt. But yeah, we're here tonight, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's wrong
Shout out to
with us?
Jody P saying big 3 points. Come on the Reds. Shout out to Jody P as well. Big 3 points. To hear Koreshi saying it was a poor game which covered cracks in the team and management. Facts, but that's what happens with wins, man. That's what happens with wins. Can't say anything. So
That's what.
Uncanny X saying, assuming Klopp actually sticks with his tactics, do you guys think we will be fine once the team, especially midfield, actually gels? Ram?
Define gel.
Answer the question.
Define gel.
Cool. Cool dude saying, I wish I had that other chromosome so I could marry Ali. Whoa.
What?
I'll leave that there. We got Samuel OG saying, I do feel like we dropped back. We can play better, but you also have to take into account that this is a new core. Yeah, it means we got to play differently though, man. Alan is saying Klopp doesn't play Nunez because Nunez is not a Klopp type of player. In Klopp vision, one centre forward needs to go down in defence to press the middle. Nunez is more of a main centre forward than a second striker. I hear you. Angel Knight 68 saying Dan Burn needs air traffic control to turn around. It's one game, Ram. Nunez needs consistency. Sing off that gym, that Megatron.
Let me manifest it. I'm not gonna be like G, not manifesting.
Transformers?
The Decepticons.
But now I want everyone. I don't want just the Decepticons. I want everyone to ascend. There's more of you in the chat, I can see, but it's okay. You don't have to say anything.
Promo saying Nunez is a dead baller, but he's so likable. I really want it to work out.
He's not.
Yeah. Michael Talks Football saying, can't lie, listening to Darwin's interview in Spanish, the guy is hilarious. He was. Muchas gracias por todos y por mis compañeros. That's where he was standing. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It made me laugh. Michael Talks saying, but I need him to be ruthless. I was getting cussed out in Uruguay for calling him crap.
Damn.
But yeah, man. Last couple of comments we got. Jamrock saying, when you go to away grounds, teams, even the bottom ones, will try to attack you as they want, as that's when the fans get onto them. That's true.
Not a shot United.
Big up to Polar Knights. Polar Knights saying, I love this as a barber. I am watching perfection. It is the perfect evolution of beard growth.
Who? Better not be me, because I ain't.
Bro, it's not you. So don't worry about that.
It must be G. It must be G.
You see G, yeah? You see G.
Bro, because you said it as if I was talking, bro. What beard do you have? You know what? It is what it is. If you're talking about me, love. I think Jerry's beard's grown too, so love. So you know.
Yeah, man. Don't worry. I'm looking too old, man. I'm looking too old. Need to some digits my age. You got to say LSC say. Big up the man, them each and every time. Got say LSC in the building, like crazy. King Dom saying this guy out here nitpicking on anything, talking about injuries that haven't happened yet. Imagine having a striker in your team that bags 2 goals to win you the game, and this is how he's talked about. He said there were good goals. Just watch it.
Nah, to be fair, G said the 2 strikes were crazy.
Yeah,
they were crazy. Fuck him, I would nitpick if I want to nitpick. Don't tell me what to do.
There it is, man. There it is. But look, people, that's been the tactics board today. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. If you're watching this on a replay, please make sure you obviously hitting the like and letting us know in the comments your tactical bits of tactical analysis. I want to know what you guys think, how you guys think we play. Maybe you disagree. I can see in the chat a lot of you guys talking about, do we go to a 4-2-3-1? Is it maybe a 3 at the back? What do we do now? The fact that obviously Verge is obviously going to be suspended for 1 game, potentially more because of his potential kind of, do you know what I mean? a bad mouthing of the ref after the decision. So we'll have to obviously wait on that. But we're going to talk about that obviously during the preview. Tomorrow, we're going to be back with a new transfer hub, and hopefully there's going to be some rumblings, some new stories, some new news, because obviously, just like Ram, we all want a DM. Whether the DM going to solve anything, I don't know, but we need some copium in it, and the DM might just help, just soothe. It might be that bandage that we need right now, that paracetamol, innit? That paracetamol just to take the pain away. Take the pain away.
Get me someone better than Endo.
That fake placebo, boy.
Yeah, I hear you. Sometimes the placebo works, though, G. Sometimes the placebo works.
100%. Yeah, you're actually right.
Or just get me someone that actually works, bruv, and is better than Endo.
Exactly. Ram and G, thank you obviously so much for obviously tuning in as well, and obviously being on the channel. Love as always. Ram, you're obviously going to be back doing content when you can. I know you've been a very, very busy man, so the people know where they can find you on the Ram stand. G, let the people know what's popping on GTV for the next days, upcoming days, and I'll drop today, man.
Tomorrow got the top 5 ballers of the week, under 23 ballers. Wednesday got the tactical show with Ends, and then really Thursday, Friday, just I'll be about actually. Thursday and Friday I'll actually be about as well. So anything on Jerry's show, count me in on the Friday, and yeah, just heading into my birthday week. So I'm just gonna be just vibing.
Jeez.
He turning 55 and that, you know, like that.
72, big 72.
You could have been a bit more respectful and said like at least 45, but fair enough. I like you, bro. I like you.
You didn't hear what I said. I'm not going to leave it like that.
But there it is, people. It's been the Jerry James Show. Thank you so much for obviously tuning in yet again. Have a good evening. See you guys tomorrow. And we're out, people. Boom.
Peace.